Have you ever wondered where you'll live when you reach your golden years? It's a question many of us have put off, focusing on the now. But the reality is the future is looming large, carrying with it a crisis we can no longer ignore. Imagine a world where the basic human right of shelter has become a luxury. A world where the number of people needing a roof over their heads far exceeds the available roofs. Now imagine these aren't just ordinary folks, but our elders who have spent their lives contributing to society, only to be left out in the cold in their twilight years. This isn't some dystopian fantasy, it's a problem growing right under our noses. We call it the elder housing crisis. As the years go by, we see the number of elderly increasing. The baby boomer generation is nearing retirement age, and the population aged 65 and older is expected to nearly double by 2050. This comprises a significant portion of our society, all of whom need a place to call home. However, the problem is that affordable housing availability isn't keeping pace with this growth. As the cost of living continues to rise, we're witnessing a troubling trend. More and more seniors struggling to find housing they can afford. In fact, for every 10 low-income seniors, there are only 3 affordable housing units available. This is a crisis that has been quietly unfolding for years, often overlooked and overshadowed by other pressing issues. But now is the time to bring it into the light. It's time to talk about it, acknowledge it, and most importantly, start finding solutions. Because the truth is, a society that doesn't take care of its elders is a failing society, plain and simple. This is the unseen crisis of our time, the housing crisis facing our elderly, and it's time we opened our eyes to it. Let's uncover the facts behind this urgent issue. We're living in a world where the elderly population is rapidly increasing. By 2035, it's projected that seniors will make up over a fifth of the total population in the United States alone, marking an increase of around 50% compared to today. A significant portion of these seniors will require affordable housing. However, the supply of affordable housing is failing to meet this growing demand. Currently, for every 100 low-income seniors, there are only 35 affordable rental units available. This glaring mismatch leaves many of our seniors in precarious situations. Financial constraints add another layer of complexity to the issue. Most seniors live on a fixed income, typically around $1,400 per month, largely from Social Security. When you consider that the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment exceeds $1,000, you begin to see the problem. Paying for housing leaves little room for other necessities like food, healthcare, and transportation. Moreover, as the cost of living continues to rise, Social Security benefits often fail to keep pace with these increases. This means that seniors receive less money each year to cover their expenses. The result? An increasing number of seniors spending more than half of their incomes on housing, pushing them into what's known as housing cost burden. For seniors with health issues or disabilities, the situation is even more dire. They not only need affordable housing, but also housing that is accessible and meets their needs. The majority of housing options available to seniors fall short of these criteria. The numbers tell a clear story. We have a serious problem on our hands. Our seniors, who have contributed greatly to our society, are facing a housing crisis that threatens their security, health, and well-being. It's a complex issue with many layers, but if we want to ensure a safe and secure future for our aging population, it's one we must address head-on. So what does this mean for our seniors, really? Imagine being in your golden years, a time when you should be enjoying the fruits of a lifetime of labor. Instead, you're faced with a growing housing crisis. It's not just about statistics and numbers. Behind every figure lies a human story, a life affected. Take the story of Mary, a 78-year-old widow, for example. She spent most of her life in the small town she loves, where her children grew up and her memories reside. However, rising property taxes and maintenance costs have made it increasingly difficult for Mary to stay in her home. She constantly worries and stresses about where she'll go if she can't afford to keep her house. Then there's John, a retired factory worker in his early 80s, who lives in an apartment in the city. Every year, rent increases surpass his fixed retirement income. The fear of homelessness looms over her, causing sleepless nights and anxiety. These stories highlight the emotional burden of the housing crisis on our elderly. It's not just about having a roof over their heads. It's about losing their sense of security, community, and inner peace. It's about the fear of uncertainty, the stress of not knowing what tomorrow will bring. But it's not just an emotional impact. The housing crisis also has a physical toll on our seniors. Studies have shown that housing instability can lead to increased risk of heart disease and mental health issues, among other health problems. When seniors have to worry about managing their homes, they often neglect their health, skip doctor's appointments, or can't afford necessary medications. Let's not forget, these are people who have worked hard their whole lives, who have contributed to society in countless ways. They deserve to spend their twilight years in comfort and dignity, not in constant worry and fear. The human cost of this crisis is immeasurable. Why are we facing this crisis? That's the question we need to address now. Let's examine the systemic issues contributing to the housing crisis for the elderly. Let's start with government support, or should we say the lack thereof. You see, our government programs for elderly citizens often fall short. For example, Social Security benefits often can't keep up with the increasing cost of living, especially housing. It's like trying to catch a moving train while standing still. It's simply not feasible. Then there are the age-old societal attitudes towards the elderly. In many cultures around the world, seniors are revered, their wisdom sought after. However, in our fast-paced, youth-centric society, seniors often find themselves sidelined, their needs overlooked, their voices unheard. This lack of societal support and understanding plays a significant role in the housing crisis. When seniors aren't prioritized, neither are their housing needs. There are also economic factors at play. Let's not forget that the housing market is ultimately a market. And like any market, it's driven by supply and demand. When demand for high-end housing is high but supply is low, prices go up. And when prices go up, fixed-income seniors are often priced out of the market. We're still feeling the effects of the Great Recession. Many seniors lost a significant portion of their retirement savings during that time, leaving them with less money to spend on housing now. Additionally, the increase in single-person households and the decline in multi-generational living arrangements have led to many seniors being isolated and bearing the full brunt of housing costs. Let's be clear, this crisis is not just about numbers. It's not just about a lack of affordable housing or rising living costs. It's about our systems, our government, our society, and our economy failing our seniors. So what's being done to address this crisis? While we grapple with the looming housing crisis for seniors, various initiatives are underway to reverse the tide. Government programs, nonprofit organizations, and community efforts all play a role in providing affordable housing for seniors. At the federal level, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HOUD, has various programs to assist seniors. The Section 222 Supportive Housing for the Elderly program provides funding to create and maintain affordable housing for low-income elderly households. It also provides necessary supportive services like transportation, meal preparation, and cleaning. At the state and local levels, governments are implementing initiatives to encourage the construction of affordable senior housing. This includes offering tax credits to developers who build affordable housing for seniors. The nonprofit sector is also stepping up. Organizations like National Church Residences are building affordable housing for seniors across the country. These projects are often funded through donations and grants and provide a lifeline for seniors who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford safe, quality housing. Communities are also getting creative in their approaches. Some are developing shared housing programs where seniors live together, share costs, and provide companionship to each other. Other communities are embracing the concept of aging in place and developing programs to help seniors modify their homes to be safe and accessible as they age. But let's issue a word of caution. While these efforts are commendable, they're not enough to meet the demand. With the projected doubling of the senior population by mid-century, we're facing an ever-widening gap. There are no easy solutions, but the first step is acknowledging the problem. By understanding the magnitude of the crisis, we can begin to devise strategies to address it. While studies are being conducted, they often fall short of being sufficient. You might wonder, what can I do? Indeed, the scale of this housing crisis may seem daunting, but never underestimate the power of collective action. Each of us can contribute to the solution in our own way. Let's start with volunteering. There are countless organizations tirelessly working to provide affordable housing for the elderly. These groups often need assistance in everything from administrative tasks to hands-on construction work. Your time, skills, and energy can make a tangible difference in these efforts. Whether you excel in paperwork or are handy with a hammer, there's a place for you in the fight against the housing crisis. Next, consider becoming an advocate for policy change at the local, state, and national levels. Decisions that impact the affordability of housing are made every day. By raising your voice, you can influence these decisions. Write to your elected officials, attend town hall meetings, or even run for office yourself. Make affordable housing for seniors a significant issue in public discussions. Making donations to relevant organizations is another way to contribute. Every dollar can make a difference in providing affordable housing options for seniors. Don't underestimate the impact of a small donation. If everyone watching this video donated just $5, we could raise a significant amount of money to support these crucial initiatives. And remember, many organizations offer recurring donation options, allowing you to contribute regularly to this cause. Lastly, remember the power of spreading the word. Share this video with your friends, family, and social networks. The more people understand the depth of this crisis, the greater our chances of solving it. Remember, this is not just about housing. It's about dignity, security, and respect for our seniors. It's about ensuring that everyone has a place they can call home in their golden years. Every effort counts in the fight against this crisis. Together, we can make a difference. Let's reverse the housing crisis for seniors. Let's build a future where every senior has a safe, comfortable, and affordable living space. The housing crisis for seniors is a problem we can no longer ignore. It's a ticking time bomb, a silent storm brewing for years. It's the elephant in the room we're all aware of but haven't dared to address. But the time for silence is over. It's time to confront the music and tackle this problem head-on. The urgency of this crisis cannot be overstated. Every day, more and more seniors find themselves without a safe place they can call home. The dream of a peaceful retirement becomes increasingly unattainable for countless individuals. This is a crisis that directly or indirectly affects all of us. It's not just about today's seniors. It's also about what the future holds for us and our loved ones. Now, the question isn't whether we should do something about this crisis. The question is what we can do and how quickly we can act. It's about understanding that this isn't a problem someone else can solve. It's about recognizing our collective action, our collective responsibility. So what can we do? We can start by educating ourselves and others about this issue. Knowledge is power, and the more people understand the seriousness of the situation, the greater the likelihood of taking action. We can advocate for policy changes at the local, state, and national levels. We can volunteer our time and resources to organizations working on providing housing solutions for seniors. But most importantly, we need to start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Each of us has a role to play in this fight, and every action matters. It's about making a difference one step at a time. Remember, this isn't just about helping others. It's about shaping the kind of society we want to live in, the kind of world we want to leave for future generations. The time to take action and make a difference is now. The housing crisis for seniors is our crisis, and together we can solve it. Thank you for watching WealthStream 101. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave us a like below this video.